All right, gang, bringing you guys a coaching development video on what you should be doing 15 minutes before class, okay? This is an important piece of your scheduled shift, you guys. Obviously, we have our 60-minute ideal class experience where we have our timeline and we roll with it, but a lot can be accomplished in the 15 minutes leading up that can make for a better member experience and a more efficient coaching experience. So that's why we have this video, okay? But at this point, our plan should be made, okay? Our lesson plan, the programming, all that, okay? We should have that, all right? So the first bit, just keeping it general, when we walk in, we just wanna make sure we do our facility walkthrough, and that means bathroom and locker rooms, okay? We want a clean facility and we want things to be where they should be and look how they should, okay? So we know that as a part of our opening and closing checklist, so just making sure we do that. We do our bathroom walkthroughs, we replace or clean or move anything that is not where it should be. So that's the first bit, very quick, easy thing to do, all right? The second thing, okay, is checking our class list. And as people are coming in throughout that 15 minutes, there's different ways to do it. You can do it as they go. You can check people in through StreamFit, okay, as they come in. Otherwise, right before the clock hits the start of class, you can do a select all and check everyone in and remove any names or no-shows, okay? But we want to be able to manage StreamFit. So that's another thing that we would do in our 15-minute time block, okay? The other thing, equipment. So just making sure, one, that we have our what you need equipment list for the warm-up, or at least for what we need immediately, just to save us time for class, all right? And just knowing equipment considerations in general for the class, especially when we look at our transitions from the whiteboard brief, the general warm-up, specific warm-up, just knowing that, okay, when are we gonna need something and what is that something to be, and so that we can direct our members towards that. So it's starting to think in terms of that, okay? And equipment moving into floor layout, those things can work out together where we need to make sure that we understand what does the floor need to look like given on what we're using, barbells, machines, the pull-up rig, okay, and combination of movements. And that also, so equipment as well as member count, okay, those two things will influence what the floor, how the floor should be laid out, okay? If we have a heavy deadlift day, a 1 rep max deadlift day, and we have 18 people in class, based on equipment bumper plates, that absolutely has to be a day where everyone pairs up, okay? Other equipment things would be, we have 20 total machines, okay? So if we have an erg day or an AMRAP, we need to understand the limitations that we might have with machines. And if we need to start people in different places, AMRAPs are usually the place to do that. Or if it needs to be adjusted to a partner variant, again, because of a potentially big class. So just understanding the limitations of the space. That means, you know, the walls too, if we have benches up against the walls, or if we have ergs against the walls and we have bigger class sizes, we need to make sure that we pull the equipment away from the walls so that we have access to the walls from all different angles, okay? So those are just a few examples of those things. Same thing if we're having pull-ups or toes to bar for the day and we have machines, we need to make sure that we're not blocking the pull-up bars with anything that's open, and we need to be more creative about where we place the machines, okay? So just keeping that in mind during that 15-minute window, that we make sure that everything is where it needs to be, and if it needs to be moved, we'll do that then and there, okay? And the biggest reason for this video and our, you know, the number one focus for that 15-minute lead up is relationship building, you guys, and checking in with our people. You know, you'll have opportunities like that throughout the class, but it really is this time when, you know, we can talk to people, and it doesn't always have to be about fitness. You know, it can be about their everyday life and just building strong, trusting relationships with people. Whether it's, asking questions about how their day is going or things that they have going on or about their family. And, just generally getting to know our people more. That builds a level of trust that when you do jump into your classes, you guys, and when you are coaching these people, when you build these trusting relationships with people, especially people you don't know very well, coaching those people becomes infinitely more effective. It's more enjoyable. And everything becomes more naturally when you're putting in the legwork ahead of time. So that's a big thing in that 15 minutes. We can have, the best training programming in the world. We can we can have a nice facility and have good equipment. But the thing that separates a gym like ours is the service and the experience that we give to people by showing them our level of care and just trying to give them the best hour that they can. Okay, so using that time to go around and get all of our touch points with people, to say hi to them and do that. It doesn't always need to last forever, but just making sure that that 15 minutes is used in that way, versus sitting down and hiding in the back or just sitting in front with your arms crossed, sort of thing. Those are things that we don't do here. Okay, so hopefully that helps you in your build up for class so that you know what you can be doing 15 minutes before it.